Good morning, Facebook people. Hello, Facebook Woo family. Good morning, Grand Rising. Hello, hello, hello. So glad that y'all are coming in, that you are here, but I can't see you because you're not on the Zoom. So get on in here into the Zoom. What do we call it? The dining room, y'all, the living room. Get in here with us so that you can come and get this wildly orgasmic hypnosis, this fun that we're going to have this morning. You know, you're welcome to stay in the Facebook and make comments, but I want you to get the full experience. So if you're coming in on Facebook now, please join us. But welcome, 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 welcome. Good morning. Shake off all the sleepiness. Get ready for us to ignite some fire, get wildly orgasmic, have some fun, have some laughs. You know how we do. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. I see people are going to start coming in on the Zoom. I want the people on the Facebook, think about come in with us so we can all be together, get this wild orgasmic feeling together. And why not, right? Why not join as a community and have fun together? Morning, 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 Woo community. We have people coming in on the Zoom now. I see Candice. I see Marie. Hi, Marie. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Everybody coming in on Zoom. Everybody coming in on Facebook. Make sure that you, share as much as you want in the chat, in the comments, because we're going to be interacting with your share. We are going to go into a hypnosis trance later. And if you were with us last week, you know it's a relaxation trance. I hope everybody's on mute. I don't know what happened just there. But, come on in, get ready for this love and relaxation. It's going to be a high vibe day, and hopefully it will continue throughout the rest of your day, throughout the rest of your week. Once we do this work this morning, come on in. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure you have some water. Make sure that you have tissues just in case, because you never know, and that you are in a place where you feel relaxed and can just let all your muscles go, where you won't be disturbed, hopefully, where you feel comfortable just letting yourself relax and be in a meditative state, someplace that feels safe and lovely. I know Candice is in Jamaica. And what better place to be wildly orgasmic than in Jamaica? So wherever you are today, you can definitely access this high vibrational energy, and just make sure that you have everything that you need. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see more people coming in on the Zoom. What's up, sisters and queens? I see Ellen and Queen Afrier and Louise. Hi, my sweethearts. It's so good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, Facebook people. And Facebook people, if you do decide to stay on Facebook, definitely talk to us. Tell us what you're experiencing. Answer the questions, engage with us as much as you can. And it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time.
Good morning. Good morning, Blessing family.
Good morning, Sister Teresa.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning, Grand Rising Woo family. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. One thing that I forgot to mention to the Facebook people, if you do come into the Zoom, you get to be eligible for our giveaway. So that's something to consider, whether you want to come into the dining room with us and like Sister Charmaine said, and get this orgasmic meal. So those of you who know me, you know my name is Candice Harper, and I am a relationship coach, a matchmaker, and a hypnotherapist. And my purpose is to help perfectionistic people heal the past, love ourselves unconditionally, and start our love lives over from a clean slate, which is something that we can do every day. And so last week, we transformed our disempowering thoughts around self-worth and worthiness in order to prime ourselves for the unlimited wealth and abundance that is our birthright. And in order to vibe on the level of wildly wealthy abundance, that was last week's activity, right? So if you did access the downloadable recording, and you should be on day 7 of listening. I know Sweetness won the recording, so hopefully she's on day 7, or at least day 3 or 4, or hopefully you started. But even if you haven't started listening to the daily recording yet, here's I can give you the slide so that you can access the link. John Carl, if you could put up that first slide so that you can access it whenever whenever you're ready. You got it, John Carl? There we go. So there's the link, CandiceHarperLoveCoach.com/wildly wealthy hypnosis. If you want to access the 21-day recording, it takes 21 days to reconnect the brain synapses and to shift the subconscious in a new habitual way. So the recommendation is to listen to it every night for 21 days. It was the healing part of the session that we had last week. So take a screenshot, write it down, record that link so that you can make sure that you can get it. Now, whether or not you have been listening to it, there's a possibility that you experienced some shifts or some changes anyway. So what I want to do is invite somebody to come on camera or audio and just share if you did experience any abundance breakthroughs or manifestations during this last week, during the course of the week, anything that you took notice of where you were like, this is different. Did you use the daily mantra that I shared with everybody? The ching, ching, ching goes the money tree mantra. Did you receive any unexpected money? Did you maybe make a different choice than you would have when it comes to your finances that, seems like it's going to pay off or already paid off? Maybe invested in yourself or something. Who wants to share any shifts that they might have had or noticed or became aware of?
I can share, Candice.
Yeah.
I listened to the recording a little bit after, and someone who owed me quite a bit of money in the thousands actually called me up on Tuesday and said, I'll get it to you by the end of the week. And I had it by the end of the week.
Ashe!
So, I didn't even think about that. And I was like, I totally did the, session with Candice. So thank you. Yes.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, Chantel, the experience of having them call you up and say, I'm giving it back, like, where were you at? Because, sometimes when people owe you money, we start to like build up that resentment, or we start to build up a judgment about them or whatever it is. Where were you at emotionally and mentally by the time they called?
I mean, with the situation, I'm just patient. I'm generally a patient person, and I understood the situation. And sometimes that can be my downfall. Like, oh, it's okay, get it to me when you can.
Yeah.
And she texted me while I was at work and told me that, and I wasn't sure, like, do I believe it or not? And by Friday, it was in my account.
Yeah. And in receiving it, you gave it acknowledgement, gratitude.
Yes, absolutely. I after she told me, I wrote it down in my gratitude journal and was thankful for that because it was such a shock to me. And then on Friday gave gratitude for it again, actually landing in my bank account.
Yeah, right. Because sometimes people say, I'm gonna pay.
Yes. And when she said, like, this is my balance, I'm paying the balance off of what I owe.
Yeah.
It was very surprising, and it was there. So thank you so much. And now I'm making the connection as well that, I definitely did I listened to the video after being admin because I wanted to focus and be in it. So yeah, thank you.
Shay, I mean, it was you.
Yes.
It was that openness and willingness to the suggestibility. You attracted what you needed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Chantel.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to share any shifts that they experienced or noticed? It's not always that, it's a big windfall. Sometimes it's just, I change my mind about whether I need to invest in myself about something, or I start to see the value in something that I didn't see before, or I feel joyful and grateful about something that I'd been taking for granted. Anybody want to share anything like that?
We have Sweetness. That's her hand raised.
Sweetness. Go ahead, Sweetness.
Yeah, grand rising, peace and blessings to everyone. So in regards to, after listening to you, having that experience with you and the community, and then also going back to listening to the recording, what stood out for me was grace. There's a space where you're saying, have grace with yourself. Have grace with yourself. And so discipline is something that I am incorporating in my life right now. And so to remind myself of what self needs, right? Because we're feeding ourselves those things that we need to push forward and be more effective. I know for me, to be a more effective communicator is what I'm working on. And so when things come up and I have a habit of punishing myself, that comes to my mind. Have grace with yourself. Have grace with yourself. And so and so that is a good thing. In regards to little things or big windfalls, I think in any light bulb experience is a big deal. That's what I'm receiving it as. I'm looking at it as a big deal. And you just asked, what's her name?
Chantel.
Chantel. I was going to call her Candice, but that's you. You asked Chantel, did you acknowledge it? And so that's for me. Like, as soon as I wake up in the morning, sometimes I have to remind myself, give thanks, right? Giving thanks, and giving thanks. And so that's what I'm receiving from listening to the recording is to be gentle with myself, because then I can be gentle with other people, and give myself grace, and be more disciplined and intentional about what I'm supposed to be doing. Staying in my lane, finding my lane, staying in it, minding my business. So yes, I have been listening to the recordings. I've been blessed from having my mind shift from a place of, it wasn't so much in a place of lack, hardly ever, because I come from the school that there is no lack. However, attaching the principles that you invited us to attach to that, to expose ourselves to abundance. Yeah. So that's where I am. I'm excited, and I've been excited about it. People have been sending me videos of energy, different type of thinking and thought, and I've been thinking different. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm awake now. As you can see, I started waking up while I was talking to you. And no, I am. I'm excited. I'm excited not just for me, but I'm excited for the community. And with that, I'm complete.
Ashe, Sweetness. One thing I love that you pointed at was that you can actually give yourself grace and be disciplined. So one of the things that was a symptom of financial struggle, I don't know if you remember from last week, was self-flagellation, because we think that in order to discipline ourselves and to put things together and organize, that we have to beat ourselves up in order to do that. So I love, Sweetness, that you pointed to discovering that you can be disciplined and you can also be graceful with yourself. Those two things can coexist, and you can do it in a loving way, and it will just support you in being wildly abundant, honey. So thank you for that. Thank you for that share. And anybody else who wants to share around any shifts, if you haven't already, of course, please type it in the chat and, just get it out so the community can know. I see Sister Candice, you just came off mute. You want to share, my love?
Yes, thank you, Coach Candice. Just interestingly enough, just yesterday, we were driving through Jamaica and we went to a spot not too far from the grill, and opening oneself up for possibilities, I think would be a new mindset of mine. And there was a beautiful, what do you call it? Community that is closed off. I forget, gated community. It was a beautiful gated community. And there's a time where I probably wouldn't make myself stop at this gated community, and without an invitation, without knowing anyone there, to go and look, right? Because you're looking for possibilities. Yeah. And both the scene and the environment was so beautiful, already on a beautiful island, but just took my breath away. I got goosebumps, and it was a physical reaction to the environment and the desire for that kind of beauty in my life. And so the possibilities are endless, right? Instead of walking by, driving by, this time we stopped and took a look. And so who knows what else can happen. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. I love that. That's fantastic. And that's a big thing, you know, we often say with manifestation, it's just being in the spaces of the things that you desire and just knowing that you're worthy of being in those spaces. I love that you said that, Candice, about, you know, being in a gated community, and it ignited this like excitement. It's like, yeah, because that's what the heart desires. That's what the heart wants. And why not? Right? That's what we're here for, to experience what we desire and what we want. So thank you so much. Ashe. All right, so are y'all ready to get wildly orgasmic? Speaking of vibrating high. So today we're going to talk about what it means actually to be wildly orgasmic, and why orgasms and why wildly orgasmic. But first, I want to share with you my personal, I call it my somatic checklist. And these are the things that I do to my body in the physical realm, separate of my spiritual practice, that I do to my body in order to support high vibration, in order to support, you know, my best possible self showing up as much as possible, because we can't always be amazing. There's moments where we feel down, but these are the things that I do regularly and with consistency. So John Carl, if you could bring up the next slide. And I want y'all to pay attention to these things. You don't have to espouse them if you don't already, but you know that I do want to offer it to you as possibilities. And also I want you to maybe screenshot, put a little bit of it in your memory. All right, so these are 5 things that are non-negotiable for me every single day. Gallon of water, 10,000 steps, 15 to 35 minutes of yoga, and 50 to 60% of my calories come from plants. Doesn't mean that I don't sometimes eat cake and steak and all kinds of other things, but 50 to 60% of my daily calories comes from plants. And then orgasms. Now I don't, this one caveat, I don't necessarily orgasm every day, but I do make it a point to do it very regularly throughout the week. And it is something that I do, you know, I try to do at least a minimum 4 to 5 times, whether it's with myself, with a partner, however I choose to do it, right? Making sure that it is a regular part of my consistent somatic experience, what my body gets to experience. My body gets to experience that joy. And when I'm doing these things, my body feels happy, it feels strong, and it feels like it's functioning optimally, right? My digestion feels better. And all of them are equally important to each other. Did somebody come off mute? Did somebody want to share something? No, that was just a little mute thing. All of them are equally important to each other, equally important to my health, my vitality, my ability to vibe high. And the one we're going to focus on today is orgasms. So next slide, John Carl. The benefits of orgasms: they increase circulation, they give you great skin, they can lower pain, specifically with migraines. If you are someone who suffers from migraines, and a lot of times people will say, well, when I'm in a migraine, it's just too much for me to even consider. And the invitation is to like allow yourself to begin to practice slowly and just see what happens. If you're in a moment of migraine and you can go off and be by yourself, or if you have a partner who's loving and wants to support you and help you through that kind of pain, allow yourself to open up to the practice, even if it's just a little bit of it at a time, and just see what's possible, because it can be very, very relieving. Even sugar migraines. I'm somebody who has a little bit of a sugar addiction. And so if I'm I'm going through a sugar cycle and then I stop eating sugar because I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore, I'm going to be healthy, I might get a migraine from it. And orgasms help with that. They help to relieve that. It boosts your immune system. It can lower your anxiety. And Lord knows, with all the variants and stuff going on in the world today, and if you're watching the news cycle, the anxiety thing can keep going and going and going. And it's a good way to sort of separate yourself out from that sort of rumination. It dials down aging. It can help you sleep better. It helps us live longer. And if you're still having your menstrual cycle, it helps to improve that. And if you're no longer having it as well, it just helps to improve your hormonal balance. It supports you with that. Right? So it's good things. And obviously, just like with anything else, too much of a good thing can become addictive. So we want to be able to strike a balance with it, but there's just a lot of good health benefits with it. And because of that, it can support us in vibing as high as we want to vibe. And we all know that high vibration is what causes manifestation. So how are we going to define wildly orgasmic? John Carl, if you could go to the next slide. So being able to be wildly orgasmic, it's the ability to access joy and pleasure through total and complete surrender. Total and complete surrender. Now, I don't know about y'all, but for most of my adult life, I've been a recovering controlaholic. I've wanted to control every aspect of my own life and that of the others around me until I started to learn better. So if you're someone for whom control of your environment, control of yourself, control of others is something that you default to, the idea of total and complete surrender might strike a little bit of energy in you, right? A full and complete letting go of oneself, a somatic experience of joy that surpasses the limits of just thinking happy thoughts. So when I say all of that, who has like some energy that comes up or some sort of reaction to it, a feeling, maybe even a little bit of fear, excitement? Who has something that they would want to share around that? Surrender, letting go of control, being able to let go of control. Anybody have anything? We're all good?
I did have a question.
Afternoon. This is Teresa. Good morning.
Who's that? Oh, Sister Teresa. Hi, love.
Hi, sweetness. I'm sweetness. All y'all sweetness, excuse me. But I just wanted to say, I was just talking to God's Spirit. I was like, you know what? I need you to help me just to surrender to the situations that's happening in my life. And I do know when I am surrendering that I am a lot more peaceful. And especially, and also even dealing with the orgasm, it was like, that happened to me a couple of times this week and I felt a lot better. So it was with myself also. And I just felt really good, just to be able to relax and to let stuff go. And I'm just thankful just to be here because I've been through so many things, and to still be here, I'm not in control and I still made it. So I do have the ability to triumph over stuff that appears to be rough and then still manage to make it. So I have to just continue to surrender. I keep on hearing a word that says trust the process. And so, working on. And I love with I forgot something that the lady said, just some of the words everybody was saying today is just really, just been helping me so much. And I just really appreciate it. And I'm complete.
Ashe, thank you for that, Sister. Thank you for that share. Absolutely. I see Sister Zakia has her hand raised, and somebody else wanted to share as well.
Hold on, let me turn the volume up. Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So this is an area that I'm trying to think of an accurate word.
Oh, say that again.
Apprehensive comes to mind.
Okay, talk about it, sister.
Yeah. I have been. Yeah, I'm a mother of three. I was married for several years, and I've been celibate for close to 20 years. Um, and someone came into my life just before I started this process with Woo, and of course during the pandemic, everything was very strange. I haven't been interested. Even with someone in my life, I haven't been interested. I'm, I don't know if repressed or I don't know how to explain it. I'm not interested.
No, I get it. I get
And
it.
it's not, I'm not happy that I'm not interested. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I get that. I get it. So you're saying not interested in having an orgasm or not interested in having a relationship that would be, having someone to support you in having orgasms. Like, what is it? Is it just disinterest all the way around? Star?
Yes, all the way around.
Oh, okay, all the way around. I heard all the way around. Your sound cut out a little bit, so I couldn't fully hear you. So you said yes, all the way around. So, I mean, I love that you're sharing that too, because, as our bodies change and as we get older, we go through different hormonal changes, and that natural desire ebbs and flows depending on life situations. I mean, I can remember being in an abusive relationship and everything just dried up because of the emotional state that I was in. And I didn't want to be in any way touched or have physical connection with anyone. And so the one thing that I don't think that we are often taught is that when it comes to experiencing things, or when it comes to having joy and pleasure, or when it comes to offering good things to ourselves, that it's not always going to be, I desire it, and so then I want it, so then I make it happen. Or it doesn't always come from a center of desire. Sometimes it's just about, I don't necessarily feel interested, but it's a thing, because if it wasn't a thing, you wouldn't be here. Like if for you, it was just not like a nothing burger, like a non-entity, you wouldn't even have joined this group, right? So it's something that's in your mind, like I'm not interested. But do you say, why am I not interested? Do you say, what's going on with me that I'm not interested?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Especially recently, like I said, I haven't. You mentioned something, being in an abusive, my marriage was not physically abusive, but abusive in every other possible way, emotionally, psychologically, verbally, you name it. The only thing that wasn't, and there was times I almost wished that would happen, because that I would fight back against. That's that's an actual, the other things I didn't fight about, I didn't see them happening.
Yeah.
They're not visible. It's not till later on when you're evaluating that you realize it. If there had been a physical situation, I would have fought back, and that I would have recognized. So yeah, that's probably very, very much connected to my disinterest.
Yeah. Absolutely, because disinterest is just a word for suppression. It's a word for, this thing that I've stuffed down. So let me act like I'm not interested in it. No, I don't really want to do that thing, especially if it's something that you consistently say to yourself. Oh, I've lost my sexual, that's just not my thing anymore. I'm not interested in any of that, right? It's just we put a language on it that makes it more palatable to suppress. Because it's a partial self-denial, right? Otherwise, it would be very hard to just be walking around in self-denial all the time with these feelings. So the invitation is, the beginning of practicing that this is something that is for me and that I am deserving of pleasure. And what would that mean for me if I started to practice the thought, I am deserving of pleasure rather than I am disinterested? Does that resonate?
Yeah, a little. I also, something just came up for me during the course of the marriage. Sex was more of a chore than a pleasure, because we weren't connecting on any other level. So therefore that level was like, you know, obligation more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ashe. And you know what? Welcome to human womanhood. Because when we have a partner, if the emotional connection is not there, the body responds. The body says, well, you don't really care about this fool. Or you're not feeling that connected to him. And the body says, you know what, you're right. I'm going to start to shut down. And that's natural. It's human. It's, it's a blessing that our bodies know to do that. And it might not have felt good at the time, but that was your body's way of telling you, like, you're not feeling it with this person. It's not happening. You might have wanted to happen. You might have hoped it would happen. It might be culturally, traditionally the right thing for it to happen, but the body will say, nope. And I want to acknowledge you for heeding it, because you're no longer in that relationship, right? Right? Are you there? Did I lose you?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Although it wasn't the decision was made for me. In retrospect, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
But once again, I didn't take the actions I needed to take.
Gotcha.
It happened out of, yeah. He walked out and abandoned it. He just left. He walked out and abandoned us. So.
Got it. And the invitation with that is that it's never too late for you to take the action you need to take as far as loving yourself around it. Right? So you might not have made the decision to walk out, but now what's there for you is to make the decision to do what you need to do for yourself, to reawaken your own pleasure and your own deservedness of being able to feel connected. Like, that's what's there for you now. He's gone. Does that resonate with you, Sister Arzakia? Oh, no, we lost your sound again.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit, but just does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, my sweet love. I mean, stick around, because after this, you say you're not interested, but after this hypnosis, I have a feeling you're gonna be ready to start practicing. That's the invitation. And it's all gonna be right, and it's all gonna be okay. It's all perfect. I see. Well, let's do one more share. I see Sister Martine has her hand up, and then we're gonna move forward. Go ahead, Sister Martine.
Okay, really, really quick. This is a topic that really resonates with me. I'm actually working on a workshop about this because I've met so many women. Okay, so when I first moved to the South, I used to work for a blood bank. And so I worked with like literally hundreds of different people daily. And we used to just get in trouble and get into these crazy conversations. And I have brought up the different areas of the body that can cause orgasm, because this is something that I love to study. It took a long time for me to even be able to self-pleasure because of shame associated with it. And I found in doing that there were literally hundreds of women just who had never worked with me coming and seeking me out. Women who've had 7 kids and never orgasmed because of what they associated with. And so I can't even remember your question after this share, but that was one thing for me that I said I always have to revisit, is empowering women to self-pleasure, first of all, because somebody taught me very early on that you can't find pleasure with somebody else unless you know what you need. If you're letting them dictate everything, and then also disassociating orgasm with these outliers like religion or who your partner is. Because some women, I'm not talking about myself, y'all, I'm not talking about myself, but don't need anything, fingers, penises, anything to pleasure. All you need is your mind. Your mind is a major part of it. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm complete.
Yeah, thank you for that, sister. It absolutely is. And it speaks exactly to what I was talking about, that willingness to surrender. And a lot of times when we do spend, time in relationships where there is not an emotional connection or there is not that level of intimacy, there's a self-protective thing where surrender is the last thing we're willing to do, right? So we're even further away from the possibility. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that share, Sister Martine. So go ahead, whatever.
Wait, I'm sorry. This is Kaisha. Can you put up the last slide before you move on? I was taking notes.
Say again.
Can you put up the last slide before you move on? I was taking notes.
Yeah, definitely. The one about orgasms. John Carl, can you put up?
Yes, the definitions. Yes, wildly orgasmic.
Okay.
John Carl, did you hear that? To put the slide back up?
Yes, I did. I'm getting it together.
Great. And while we're doing that, Candice, I did want to ask a question. Maybe some people in the group have it. What is the difference between having an orgasm and self-pleasuring or masturbating and hitting that climax? Is it the same thing? How do we know the difference? Or if we ever had an orgasm?
Right. That's a great question, Chantel. It is the same thing. Right. So, and there's a lot of different ways that we can stimulate our bodies in order to get there. I mean, some of us are more like Sister Martine mentioned about people who can do it with their mind through visualization. What it is, it's a somatic experience in your body, right? And the way to know that you've had it is that you've experienced what it means to allow the sensations to move through your body without, you're not controlling it. Does that make sense? So you might on some level be in the action of pleasuring yourself or allowing someone to pleasure you. And it's that let go that we allow. So we stop trying to make something happen. We just kind of let the body do what the body wants to do as far as responding to the good. And the way you know that you've had one is when you can say, okay, I didn't make that happen. That energy that passed through my body, we all feel it in different ways. I'm someone who feels it a lot in my womb, and your nerve endings. Some people feel it a lot in their fingertips to the tips of their toes. It's different for everybody, but it's knowing that you didn't voluntarily, like you can voluntarily make yourself take a few breaths. You can voluntarily, like when you exercise, move your body in a certain way. But when it comes to an orgasm, the actual sensation, it's an involuntary sensation. But yeah.
And with that, I hear like surrendering, right? What we're talking about. And with that surrendering, that's when I use my time to manifest. Yeah. So like when I'm climaxing, that's when I manifest in my head what I want. And those are the things that come to fruition because I'm letting my guard down and I'm at my peak. My subconscious is at its peak and I can allow these things to feel real and obtainable for me. So I just want to throw that out there for everyone in the community. If manifestation is something that you're practicing and you want to try it a different way, try to manifest while you are hitting that peak and you would definitely see a difference. The level of surrendering to the process.
Absolutely, Chantal. I mean, you hit it right on the head, and that's why we're here, because that's exactly it. Manifestation is about vibing to the level of what you want, right? Mm-hmm. So how high can you vibe, honey? Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that, Chantal. So yes, the definition, and then also the benefits. I think, Sister Kaisha, you felt like you needed that as well.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. I was taking notes, so thank you.
Yeah. And feel free to, Kaisha, take a screenshot.
Oh, right.
So John Carl, can you go? I think it's the next one that gives the benefits. Oh no, it's the one before that. Sorry about that. There you go. So yeah, anybody, if you want to take a screenshot of that, this is from mindbodygreen.com, information about the benefits of orgasm. All right. Guys, were you able to get your screenshot?
Oh, yes, thank you. Yes.
All right, so we are going to push ahead to the next, go 2 slides over, John Carl. Because you know that I like to teach y'all a mantra or a saying, something that will support you in your daily practicing. And last week I gave you the ching, ching, ching goes the money tree. And this week, I actually got off of TikTok, but it's a really great affirmation that has to do with surrender and manifestation. And it's simple. I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will simply find me. So take a screenshot of that. You want to remember that one. Remind yourself, there's nothing that you have to be enough for, work for. You don't chase it, you attract it. What belongs to you will simply find you. All right. So if nobody else has anything that they want to share around surrender, we're going to move on because we're getting ready to get into this hypnosis, get into this relaxation state. Anybody else have anything? We're good? So you all know, especially if you were here last week, that I am certified in a hypnosis method called rapid transformational therapy. And so today, if you are willing, hopefully you are open and willing, maybe if you sat in with us last week and you were like, oh, I don't know if I want anybody putting me under, you got to observe what it's like. But basically, you know, I'm putting you in a state of relaxation. It's not about putting you out of control of yourself in the sense that I'm telling you to do things like bark like a dog or cluck like a chicken or anything like that. You will, throughout the hypnosis process, be completely aware, just in a theta brainwave state where you can be relaxed and we can communicate with your subconscious, right? And so it is my mission that everyone who participates today gets to experience personal exhilaration as a self-generated wellness practice or a manifestation tool, or just a way to be the playful human that you were put here to be, because this is our playground, this earth. And often we don't allow ourselves the play, the joy, the pleasure that we deserve. And so we're going to answer some questions like we did last week, but these are going to be all centered around joy and pleasure, surrendering, giving up control. And we're going to take a brief share for each one. I like, just for the sake of velocity, to not take up too much time from the hypnosis itself. I just want us to each, be able to at least give a brief share, listen for what resonates with you and what other people share, and also be watching in the chat what other people share. But we want to sort of efficiently get through these questions, because these are just sort of the setup questions for the hypnosis experience itself. So the first one, John Carl, if you can put up the next slide. So I've put a list here, but this is an opportunity to identify some things that may prevent you from experiencing surrender, allowing yourself to let go. For those of us who regularly orgasm already, maybe the allowance is not a big deal for you, but think about any area of your life where surrender might be beneficial, but it's not something you feel like you can do. And specifically in the sexual realm, I put a list of some things that can sometimes stand in the way of letting ourselves go, why we feel like we need to stay in control at all times. So things like the fear of being hurt physically, if you've experienced it and you're afraid that it might happen again, the fear of being hurt emotionally, like Sister Ezekiel was saying earlier, when you have a disconnect, that's a emotional, mental disconnect, that can be just as hurtful, just as painful. And it's not like physical fighting, right? Being embarrassed of your body. Sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. We're so critical about what our bodies look like. And we don't give ourselves, even a moment's peace around that. And sometimes that can stop us from being able to surrender, specifically with a partner, because we think that that person is judging us as harshly as we judge ourselves, which is usually not the case, because no one judges us as harshly as we judge ourselves. Hormonal changes, low sex drive from emotional disconnection or from hormonal changes or inconsistency. Being ashamed to ask for pleasure. I forget who mentioned that sometimes we collapse it with things like religion and morality, right? Pleasure and joy collapsed with religion and morality is a recipe for suppression, oppression, cutting ourselves off from our natural human experience sometimes. A fear of losing control emotionally or losing control physically. Trust issues, PTSD, all of these things are reasons why we might feel like we can't surrender. Who has one like right off the bat? They know that that's the reason. They're like, this is why I do not give up control. Who wants to share or share in the chat? I hear somebody coming off of mute. No. Do we need to pick someone? Are y'all like too shy, feeling too shamed?
I'll share one for you.
Go ahead.
Rejection.
Talk about it, John Carl.
Yeah, dealing with rejection can often make you feel like you are not worthy. You don't, you don't deserve, because you have not have that acceptance. So rejection. And at one time in my life, rejection was real huge for me, because it was coming from several different areas, and it doesn't always have to be sexual. Rejection in other areas can affect your sexual expression. So
yeah, but let me ask you this, John Carl, because it's very interesting as male energy. What, like when you say rejection, what does that do to your sense of control or surrender? Like that feeling of whether the rejection is the story or rejection is what you yourself might be presenting. Like, what does that do to your sense of control or surrender, especially as a male energy?
Well, I think in feeling rejected, which is a non-factor. It's about being confident by knowing that you're worthy, and knowing that everyone is not for us. But if you think that the person or the thing that or whatever the situation is that caused you to feel rejected is not for you. It's about having the confidence to continue to move on. Because and your specific question was like, what does that do to surrender? And I think we surrender when we know, as you said earlier, what is for me, I will attract. You're not chasing anything. So you surrender when you know you are supported and you are complete. If you don't know that, then surrender, I don't believe it's possible, because you're always trying to chase after, or trying to see what you can get. Like, that's not for you. And I think that it also, if you don't surrender, if you don't know, you will always attract what is not for you, because you're not conscious and confident with who you are. That's my take.
Gotcha. So what I'm hearing, you can tell me if I'm wrong, what I'm hearing is that there has to be a sense of safety with the surrender, which I think is very similar for women. Like I think we assume oftentimes that with the male energy, it's like, I don't need safety. I'm just going to do what I want to do with my penis. But what I'm hearing in your share is that it's required for you as well. Is that accurate?
I think I saw earlier you said a man don't need safety, and that's not true. Yeah. That's I mean, as human beings, we all do, but I think the ego might think it doesn't. Gotcha. And whether that is a man or a woman's perception, it is really coming from ego, and it's not of spirit.
Got it. Thank you so much, John Carl. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, so go ahead and whatever you want to write in the chat, ladies, about that. So, or even for yourself, if you want to write it down for yourself, things that might be stopping you. Then I want you to, we can go to the next slide, John Carl. What symptoms are you currently experiencing that are connected to an inability to surrender? So symptoms impact some of the things that could be showing up is a lack of intimacy in your life, a lack of connection, broken relationships because of an inability to surrender. Whatever the reasons might be for why you're unable to do it, that you feel like you have to be in control, those are separate. That's what we addressed before. But what's the impact of that? Inability to connect, the loss of interest or affection or inaffection, feeling mistrustful all the time. When we feel like we always got to be checking people's phones and stuff like that. I see Sweetness, you have it shared. You want to share about it?
Well, I'm gonna share, I think, pertaining to this. I have something else in my heart burning, but it'll have to wait for later. So what I was thinking about as far as orgasm and pleasing myself, I'm disconnected between I was kind of taught when I was introduced to the church, that pleasing yourself wasn't appropriate. However, I was exposed at a very, very early age to do that. Those senses were awakened for me at a very early age. And so it's kind of just like breathing for me, but not so much that I pleasure myself, but that I enjoy intimacy with other people, right? And so now that I haven't had sex in a long time due to taking care of my husband, it wasn't on the radar. And that's the second time like that wasn't on the radar for real, because in my younger days that was what I was doing, and I liked to do it, and it was good. So when I went to prison, it shut down while I was in prison. And then when I was taking care of my husband, it shut down as well, which it was a very big surprise to me because it was a very big part of my life. But now I notice that I don't get the release that I'm looking for when I do myself. I don't get it. So I don't so much bother with it. Although my mind has been telling me for several years, like if you have sex, that would be like really helpful with my other medical symptoms. And I really was believing that's like, well, you ain't had sex, so that's why you sick. No, really. And so nobody's listening. Well, nobody in the medical field, they're not listening to that. And then I was so busy doing what needed to be done in other areas of my life that I didn't think about it. But recently I've been thinking about, because the core is so weak. My core is so weak. I don't even have control over my bowels and stuff. And so I wouldn't have come here if I knew this was the topic, because I don't even want to wake that giant, because I don't get the release from pleasuring myself. So I don't want to be going, with somebody. Well, I wouldn't even do that, go with somebody just for that, because I'm a connectional person. So yeah, that's what I want to share, is that it was been dormant. And as far as and with the headaches too, oh God, when the last time I tried to release myself, my head felt like it was gonna explode. I really thought I was gonna have an aneurysm or something. And so I didn't I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong. I just don't gravitate to that because I'm so connected with the human connection with that.
Got it.
Right. And I know I'm deserving of pleasure. I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to throw out there.
Thank you for that, Sister. And that's actually perfect, because what you are demonstrating is how the subconscious affects our experience. So in your subconscious mind, pleasuring yourself, like you have it that you can't get as intense of a feeling, that it's not the same as if you're with someone else. And there's no right or wrong in it. It's just, that's what your subconscious tells you. So that's what you experience, right? The idea with the hypnosis is, we think about what we want to have happen. And if what I want is for my pleasure intensity to be as much as I want it to be, whenever I want it to be, then I got to be willing to say, well, what subconscious beliefs are saying that that can't be possible? Because that's what's running the show, right? It may not be that you're judging it as immoral or anything like that, but the subconscious keeps saying, nope, girl, don't, you by yourself, that ain't it, that ain't it, that ain't it. And so that's what your body believes, right? But if your body is saying, but I want an intense relief, I wanna feel this joy and this pleasure. And having a partner right now is not something that's within the realm of possibility, because if your husband is unable and you don't want to do anything, as far as your marriage is concerned, which is understandable, then what other possibilities are there? What other options are there? I got to think about subconscious beliefs that would support me in being able to actually experience what I want. So one of those, without breaking my marriage vows, without breaking, what I think is morally right, is to let go of this idea that my body can't do, or that I'm wired in this way, because that's all your mind that has decided how you're wired. Like whether I can have sex with or without a partner is all a product of what my mind thinks about my body, or what my mind tells my body. Does that make sense?
Well, it's my preference.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Oh, you get, yeah. That is my preference. So, like I said, now that I'm open to the fact that, and what we're talking about is being whole and being productive and being well. So I'm connecting with, okay, so I want to be well, and so what do I need to do? And that's part of it. And orgasm is part of being well. So I'm being exposed to, okay, so well, we had one of these in Woo before, as far as self-pleasuring, and I know how to. However, I know how to, and I don't want to.
Yeah, and I
don't want to. I want to feel better. My preference, right? So yeah, this is a part of me resisting what my life is right now. It's like being alone. I don't want to be alone, and and orgasm. No, I want to be with a man, and I want it to be intense. So right. I'm gonna have to make a shift. I guess that's what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah, and I love it. You just said it. This is me resisting what's happening right now. And so that resistance is part of what stops me from experiencing what I want to. That's all. And we all do it, right? And so that's the purpose of all of this. It's like, where is my resistance? Where are my thoughts keeping me from experiencing what I want to experience? How can I make things possible that I want to make possible? That's all it is, just exploration. And thank you for having that shift right here in this moment, because you're 100% right about it. So next slide 2 to 3 sentences that you learned as a child about surrender and giving up control. Giancarlo, if you can put the slide back up.
Awesome. Before we share the next slide, Candice, we're about to approach the 8 o'clock hour.
Yes. Thank you for that, Giancarlo. So anybody who has to leave to go to church or work, or you have something on your schedule where you gotta go, please come back and enjoy the replay and join us for the hypnosis part in the replay. Thank you for being here for as long as you have. Make sure to get in touch. I think all the contact information is going to be in the chat, and have a wonderfully orgasmic day, but come back when you can come back, and watch the rest of the replay. All right, for everyone who is staying, 2 to 3 sentences on what you learned as a child about surrender. And you can read this as sexual surrender, letting go of control, as you were coming of age, what was modeled for you as far as letting go of control and surrender, joy and pleasure. Think in terms of, what we're talking about here and what you learned as a child. Just 2 to 3 sentences on that, and you can type them in the chat. And if anybody already has them in their mind, they're like, yes, I was taught, whatever I was taught about sex, whatever I was taught about surrender, whatever I was taught about my sexuality, pleasure. I see in the chat, Real said, must maintain control, otherwise you give away your power. Ashe. Thank you for sharing that, Real. Especially as women, right? because it's, a dangerous world out there for women when it comes to sex. And if you don't retain control, you give away all your power, people can use you. And then we have the stigma of being a used up woman, as if, we're paper towels or something like that. Right? So yeah, we want to be in control because we're told that we won't be powerful. We'll give up our power. People will take advantage of us. I see Sister Danette says, absolutely trust no one. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big one. Don't be joyful, laugh now, cry later. Yes. Ashe. Sister Danette, do you want to come on and share about that? Laugh now, cry later. That fear of joy, right?
Yeah, I could say something. Is it okay if it's just my voice?
Yes.
I'm not quite ready for the camera right now.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it was real. I remember like growing up, my mother would say stuff like a stiff D star CK has no conscience, like, I'm sure that was just her experience, the experiences that she had, and but it was really like there's no space to trust anyone. Like, don't even really trust yourself in a certain kind of way. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, in terms of just having time to be able to feel relaxed. I'm thankful for your talk, and I just feel like a lot of it really, for me, comes down to safety. I've had things from like long ago that I still, talk myself through, like, this isn't now, like, this isn't now. But the training from my childhood was very heavy, and I did experience incest. And so when trust is gone, it's hard to feel safe, and then it makes it more challenging for lots of things to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Ashe, thank you for that so much, Sister Danette.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing yourself. Because, and what she's pointing to as well is, and we know from having these conversations in the woo space that so much of what happens to us as a child gets so conditioned, like we go into survival mode, right? We got to survive. If we, trauma, incest, any sort of abuse, anything that we didn't ask for is cast upon us. As children, it's like we have to make up something that says, this is how I'm going to survive this thing. Trust no one. And then, we get to be in our adulthood and the 5-year-old is still completely in charge. Trust no one. And out of trust no one, we experience what we experience as adults. And, usually what we don't experience is people who can be trusted, right? Because that's the conditioning that we're taught. So I see that a lot of people want to share about, I want to give someone else a chance to share, even though I know I said I was only going to do one person. I think I see Sister Teresa had her hand up.
I just felt out of control with like I felt like sexual from dealing with molestation, and my mother was like really paranoid about stuff. So it wasn't like a loving feeling of it wasn't until I became an older woman where I started getting like a less stress. And the last year I was just been talking to a gentleman, and it was really freeing to be able to speak to him and express myself in an orgasmic way with him, even though it wasn't touching, but just having conversation, just talking to each other. And that was really, really nice. But lately I just feel like it's not, I feel like I don't know, I just feel like where it's going is not, I'm not really sure where I want to go, but I don't want to allow my fears from the past to control, but I'm just trusting the process. So thank you for this conversation. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, sister. And that's exactly it, right? Because it's just our awareness that we had to develop those stories, those survivals. And thank you for sharing your awareness of it and knowing that's what I know I'm doing. When I know I'm doing it, I can shift it. When I know I'm doing it, I can, have myself in a healing process around what happened in the past, so I don't have to keep acting like it's happening over and over again or perpetuating the impact of it. John Carl, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, well, when you're finished, I'd love to bring in some of what was shared in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. This is perfect.
Okay, we have Danette Bean, who said, absolutely trust no one. Don't be joyful, laugh now, cry later. Jackie said, I learned that surrender was to experience joy until it was interrupted by a pedophile. And we have B. Pierre, who says, surrender is to everyone's gain and not your own. Denise West shared, part of true, she said, surrounding, I'm not sure if that's surrendering, is to put trust in someone else. Okay, I'm sure. Part of true surrendering is to put trust in someone else. It's hard. And when I surround myself was hurt. And when I surrender in was hurt. Didn't want to give at all. Yeah, I understand. She didn't want to give it all. And surrendering is definitely putting your trust in someone else. Candice Hurley said, sex is dangerous. And Charmaine shared, never surrender to men. Take control because they think that you are weak. And Candice says again, joy is dangerous.
Yeah.
Then Denise shared one more time. Some is not being fully thought. There's a lot of shares on this, but I love to go through them.
No, it's good. It's good, John Carl. I think that's good because that's basically the gist of it, right? So this idea that surrender is giving up my control in order to give it to someone else. And it's so ingrained in us because surrender, our peeling away of resistance is our power. Like that, it's actually a very powerful thing. And what's at the base of it is trust of self. So because we go through traumas, because we deal with people, especially as children, that hurt us, that we don't have the physical power to sometimes defend ourselves, or we're afraid and can't share what happened to ourselves, the survival thing kicks in, and what it says is, this is how you're going to defend yourself. But what we what's there for us to offer for ourselves in the healing of it, in the understanding that we are not responsible for what someone else chose as an action that may have hurt us. In that understanding, what we have access to is knowing that I trust myself. So if I trust myself to listen to my intuition, to know when to let go. And I trust that if I let go, if I make the choice to let go, that I can be responsible for that decision, right? And whatever is the fallout from that decision. Now I'm making it sound all Pollyanna, like every time I do that, everything's going to work out perfectly. But if I say that I trust myself, I know that everything is the process of my life. Everything is part of my journey. And I have faith that whatever it is that comes to me, whatever it is that I attract is there to either grow me, benefit me, or just be part of my life's experience. And that's not saying you want to ever invite abuse. It's not saying that it is okay in any kind of stretch of the imagination, but we often think that blocking of ourselves, that self-protection, is going to keep us from getting hurt. And it's actually quite the opposite. It not only perpetuates our hurt, but it also attracts. It's the story to the universe. People hurt you, people hurt you, people hurt you. And so the universe says, yep, people hurt you, people hurt you, people hurt you. And we attract exactly what we put that energy on as we grow older. Does that make sense? I don't want anybody to hear that as victim blaming, or that, anybody ever wanted to be hurt or anything like that. But I want to invite everybody to consider that what we are taught about surrender is actually counterintuitive to how powerful surrender actually is. And that's the main point. So I have to move forward. I know everybody has a lot of shares around this because I can see the chat. But let's go to the next slide so we can definitely have enough time for the hypnosis. The three main beliefs. So when it comes to surrender and joy and pleasure, when it comes to anything in life, there are three main beliefs as human beings that we all espouse to at different times. Sometimes it's all three, sometimes it's one or two. And so I want you to take a moment to just identify which belief comes up for you when it comes to joy, pleasure, and surrender, being able to orgasm. I am not enough, I am different, or it's not available to me. I know for myself, I think I mentioned this last week, you know, I come from a family, me and my sisters were very much raised to be wives. And whatever that meant at the time, being wives meant being self-sacrificing, forgoing your own joy and pleasure, forgoing your own wants, needs, desires, drive, in order to put it all into someone else. And the way that showed up for me sexually was thinking my sexual experiences were all about making sure that the man was pleasured and felt good, and not knowing how to get any pleasure from myself. So it's not available to me was a big one in my younger adulthood, not even that so far back. It's not available was a big one for me. And, you know, there was a period of time where I am not enough was a big one for me in an abusive relationship. Some people experience all three at the same time. So identify which of the disempowering thoughts kind of stand out for you. We'll have one brief share about the disempowering thoughts, especially if you're experiencing that you resonate with all three of them. If you resonate with all three of them and you want to come on and share. I see Candice Hurley says all three came up for me. Candice, you want to come on and share about that?
Thank you, Coach Candice. It really is, after all this work and all this time, it really is honestly the truth that I still have these thoughts and emotions. I'm not enough.
Yeah.
I'm very different from others, and that things are not available for me. Like those three all morph together, and they're in the psyche. And you know, I'm pushing back, and there is great work being done to change that music that goes over and over and swims through my psyche, to change that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's there, you know, but it is there.
Ashe, ashe. And it's perfect. I mean, that's why we do this hypnosis work, because it is that shifting, that transformation of it. And the idea with this work is to be able to identify it and you know, practice something new to switch it, like you're talking about. Reconnect the synapses, notice it, and notice why it's there, and allow it to be something different. So thank you so much for that, Sister. And then the next slide, if you could wave a magic wand, how would you experience joy and pleasure? So I know that Sweetness mentioned that her preference is not to do it by herself, but let's, you know, because often we know what we don't want, right? So what's possible around what you do want? And one thing you want to consider, and what I love also, thank you, Sweetness, for the rich share that you gave, was, you know, you said that your husband is in a physical place where the sexuality cannot happen. That does not mean that you cannot build a full fantasy around what you want to have happen. What would be ideal? What would be beautiful and amazing for you? What would be that thing that would have you experiencing joy and climax? That's something that you can create for yourself in your imagination, in your journal, on a vision board, wherever you want to. So what would it be like? How would you experience it? Whether with or without a partner, you know, what are some things that you would want, some elements around it that you would want? Is it, you know, a sexy music time with candles, or is it, you know, for some people it's the beach, or it's, you know, whatever, like how would you experience joy and pleasure if you could just wave a magic wand, have it be the way you want it to be? So you want to type in the chat, anybody who wants to talk about it, anybody who wants to come on and say how they would. Feel free to just jump in. Oh, I see a hand.
Sexual healing is good for me. Hey, sexual healing is good for me.
Thank you, Sister Teresa. You setting us a soundtrack. I see Sister Wendy. Go ahead, Sister Wendy.
Oh gosh, yeah. I should make me forget what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. In answer to your question, repeat the questions. That soundtrack just threw my thoughts off.
So if you could wave a magic wand, how would you experience joy and pleasure?
Okay. Yeah. For me, I think having been in a sexually unfulfilling marriage for 18 years, I need to reclaim my time. Yeah. So with a partner that can offer me the feeling of so that I can totally surrender. And when I say safety, I mean feeling appreciated, wanted, all the things I didn't experience before that might have prevented me from totally surrendering. I feel that if I could wave a magic wand, it would be to have reclaim my time with that person who is just accepting of me, just the way I am, for who I am, so that I can feel surrender. I can experience surrender. Okay? That's the magic one.
Sister Wendy, not to interrupt, that is, I love that you shared this because it is so absolutely perfect for why it's important that we're able to reach the vibration that we want to. Because what if the person who can 100% accept you unconditionally is right at the end of your unconditionality? Like, what if you are already at a place of 100% acceptance and feeling safety because you've generated the safety for yourself and the willingness to surrender in order to say to the universe, that's what is true for me, so that you can attract that person that aligns with that. Because that's how manifestation works. We think if this thing comes into my life, I'll be able to then act in accordance with it. So like we did with the wealth hypnosis last week, if I get a windfall, I'll be able to act in accordance with being rich. But the reason we did last week, it's because if I act in accordance with being rich and abundant and wealthy, that's when I get a windfall. That's how the manifestation, that's how the law of attraction works. So what about that possibility of being able to generate that feeling of acceptance, safety, and ability to surrender without a partner standing in front of you able to offer that?
Well, you're on point, because that's exactly what I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I got it.
I am working on, because I understand the law of attraction. I understand how it works.
Yeah.
So, but if I had a magic wand, then I wouldn't go through the process. I just wave it in. But yes, I am working on acceptance, all the things that I desire.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm working on giving it to me.
Yeah. And you do have a magic wand, because that's the magic wand.
That's the magic wand. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have the magic wand.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm doing my magic.
Right? Yeah. So it's perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you, Sister Wendy.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much. So the last, what else would be possible in your life if joy and pleasure were your default setting? John Carl, if you could put up that slide. What else would be possible in your life if joy and pleasure was your default setting? Not saying that, people talk about toxic positivity, not that you got to walk around like a happy cloud all the time, but if joy and pleasure was the default rather than anxiety, worry, stress, all the things that we often do as the default while we're trying to work towards happiness. What if joy and pleasure was the default, right? Every now and then we come down from it, but what if that was where we sat? What would be possible in life if I sat in joy and pleasure? If joy and pleasure was how I wake up, right? I wake up like this. And who wants to share around that? What do they feel? Does something come up? Anybody that something immediately came up? What's accessible to me if I'm sitting in joy and pleasure as a default? I see Terry shared ease. Yes, Terry. Absolutely. Terry, you want to come on and share about ease? You want to come on audio?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, just ease, ebb and flow. Just going with the day, Not feeling like I have to be in control and have a dictation of list and everything. Just enjoying life however it comes, accepting the challenges as an opportunity for new learning as opposed to a blockage.
Yeah, absolutely. Ashe, thank you for that, Sister Terry. Thank you so much. So yeah, and I see in the, John Carl put freedom, Candice put success. So much is possible around having joy as the default setting. And I put this illustration from an artist, her name is Marcy Montrose. and she's a beautiful young artist from the UK, and it's called Black Joy. And I love this illustration because it's, the diaspora of happiness, honey. And, we have a lot of historical reasons that dictate that we're supposed to be in fear all the time, that dictate that we're supposed to be walking around on guard and anxious. And there's a lot out there that would indicate that needs to be our default setting. But, my hope here is that we cause a movement just in this community every day, that we get to break this cycle. We get to break the cycle of feeling like Black people have to be downtrodden, because that is not what we were born for. That's not what we're here for, right? All right, who's ready to get into hypnosis? We ready to go? Raise your hand. You can raise your hand digitally. Let me know you're ready to go. And I know, I heard somebody say something.
They were saying they were ready.
Okay. Awesome. I see hands going up. Awesome. I'm glad y'all are ready. So now I'm looking at the time, and I know that we're going to go over. I want to make sure that everybody who can go over is okay with that. If you don't feel like you can go over, but you want to start with us, the invitation is to just gently bring yourself out, and you can always come back for the entirety of it if it's problematic for you to go over. And if not, if you're going to join us for the whole thing, then that's absolutely wonderful as well. We're going to do a quick check through. Like I said, you're not going to be out of control of yourself. You're just going to be in a fully relaxed state. What we're doing is just healing the old paradigm, a lot of the stuff we've been talking about, so that we can begin transforming those subconscious beliefs in an active way. I'm going to do what's called an induction, which is just putting you into relaxation. Don't look for a magical feeling. Don't look for something to come over you and change you. Just be willing to allow, surrender, go with the relaxation, let your body go, and you'll be fully inducted. And then I'll do what's called an investigation. We're going to go back into the past and identify the things that created our old beliefs, some of the things we just talked about. The invitation with this is to remember that you're only reviewing it, you are not reliving it, right? Because I know sometimes we have some things in the past that we don't even want to think about. Sometimes we forcibly forget them, and it's understandable because it can be some rough stuff, but you want to just keep reminding yourself, I'm reviewing it, not reliving it, right? Then we're going to do an interpretation, understand how it's showing up in our ability to surrender to joy today and in the present and in this moment. How are those past things still running the show? Who's in charge? Is it the 5-year-old who got hurt? Is it the 12-year-old whose sexuality was in some way abused or made to feel shameful? Who's running the show? Who's in charge of how I'm making decisions for myself today, right? Then we're going to interrupt the subconscious pattern, and then I'm going to install new suggestions to reconnect those synapses that you will be able to walk away with and listen to daily for 21 days and experience something new based on your subconscious patterns of thought. Anybody have any quick questions about that? Everybody's good. Okay. I'm going to make sure all your bio needs are taken care of. If you need water, you got to go to the bathroom real quick. Make sure your device is plugged into power so you don't get interrupted. Any other devices, switch to do not disturb. If there's any issues with the internet connection, if for whatever reason I drop off, I'm coming right back on. If anybody drops off, just pull yourself out, come right back on with us. Ambient noises. If you hear any ambient noises, like I got a dog in the background, if you got animals, you got family, anybody making any sounds, traffic, allow those to deepen your relaxation. Unless it really sounds dangerous, allow it to be a deepener. If it's a normal ambient sound that you're used to, sometimes we let those things pull us out, or we get alerted by them just because that's just our natural way. I want you to just be conscious of, I'm going to let this be a deepener to my relaxation. Make sure no one is there to interrupt you, and make sure that you are in a comfortable and reclined state. There will be a point where I have you outstretch your arms. So you do want to be able to make sure that you can do that, whether you're lying down or in a reclined seat. You want to just be able to know that with your eyes closed, you have enough room to outstretch your arms without hitting anything, your computer or anything in front of you. And if the invitation is to be on camera so that I can sort of monitor that you're okay, I feel like you will be okay if you're not on camera. It's not a requirement, but it does help me to kind of gauge how you're doing throughout the process. So if you want me to gauge how you're doing, be on camera. And if not, that's fine too. And I think that's it. So just to show you real quick, the way that I'm going to induce you is I'm going to have you find a point on the ceiling and look up really high as if you're looking into your eyebrows. And at some point I'll have you pull your lids down over that gaze and it'll feel a little uncomfortable. And I'll have you breathe through still looking up while your eyelids are down, and then I'll have you relax. And that's going to be how I get you into the beginnings of relaxation. And that's it. Anybody have any quick questions before we jump in? Everybody's good? Okay. All right, let me just hit record. All right, so everybody just sit back, relax, take a deep breath in and let it out. And I want you to just allow everything to just relax and to let go. Full practice of surrender right now. And so go ahead and look up as high as you can. Find a point, a focal point up on the ceiling. You don't so much want to lift your head as you do your gaze. It's almost as if you're looking into your eyebrows. So look up as high as you can, find that focal point and breathe in and breathe out. And as you're breathing out, continue to hold that focal point on the ceiling. Just keep your gaze right there, right there. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Each time you blink or want to blink, that's just hypnosis wanting to come upon you. Any eye strain you might feel is hypnosis wanting to come upon you. So breathe in one more time. And this time, as you breathe out, you want to just let your lids close down over your eyes. It might feel a little uncomfortable, a little like something you're not used to, but just let those eyelids close right down while your gaze is still looking up. You might feel some blinking, some fluttering. That's absolutely perfect. Just allow that to happen. Close your eyelids down until they are glued shut, glued tight. And breathe in. And as you breathe out, go ahead and let your gaze go wherever it wants to go. Let it completely relax. Let all the muscles around your eye sockets relax. All the muscles in your face just completely relax. Let everything go. And so I want you to just take a moment to imagine that you are looking down a flight of 10 stairs. You're standing at the top, at the 10th step. And I want you to drop your chin down about an inch or two so that you get that looking down feeling in the back of your neck. And I'm simply going to count you down those 10 steps. And you're going to go straight into hypnosis, straight into relaxation. And you're going to experience how wonderful it feels to just let everything let go. So you're looking down from the 10th step. And as you're looking down, you begin to go deeper. And so you're moving to the 9th step. You can see your foot, hear your foot, feel your foot falling onto the 9th step. And as you do, you go even deeper into relaxation. Every time you take the next step, taking step 8, you go deeper, deeper into relaxation. Every muscle, every nerve turning loose. Taking step 7, going deeper, deeper into relaxation. Imagine yourself taking step 6, see your foot, hear your foot, feel your foot falling onto step 6, and go deeper and deeper still, taking step 5, feeling each foot make contact and going deeper as you do, taking step 4, breathing deeply and allowing relaxation. Taking step 3, you can hear your foot treading, feel your foot treading as you take step 3, going deeper and deeper and deeper with every heartbeat. Taking step 2, going way down deep into relaxation. Taking step 1, just sleep deeply in your nervous system. Just go deeper, drift deeper. And as one foot joins the other onto step 1, you'll go even deeper. And I'll click my fingers and say, sleep deeper, sleep deeper. And every time I do, you'll go deeper into relaxation. Sleep deeper, Sleep deeper. Just let everything go. And now what you'll find is that your eyelids feel as though they are glued shut, locked tight. And you'll find that when you try to open them, it's impossible. Your eyelids just do not want to open. You're so fully relaxed. And every time you try and can't open them, you'll find yourself going deeper. Every time you try and can only partially open them, you'll go deeper. You'll feel yourself unable to open your eyes and go deeper, and it'll inspire you to relax even more. You understand that hypnosis is not about being asleep, but it's about being relaxed and suggestible. And so now we're just going to do a little suggestibility test for ourselves so that we know that we are there. So I want you to go ahead and stretch your arms out in front of you. Stretch them straight out in front of you with your elbows straight, high up in front of you, and have your palms facing each other. So your palms are facing each other, maybe about a foot or so apart. And I want you to imagine that in each palm, there's a super, super strong magnet. And they are opposite polarity, and they are so attracted to each other, these magnets, and they really, really want to come together. And so even if you resist, even if you try to hold your hands apart, you will find that these magnets are just pulling and pulling and pulling towards each other. That these magnets are really trying to come together. I want you to imagine that with all of your strength, you are unable to resist the magnets pulling your palms together. And your palms are wanting to come together. I want you to imagine your palms are slowly, slowly coming towards each other, attracting towards each other, so much so that as they get closer and closer, you begin to feel your fingertips touch each other. So you can feel your palms coming closer and closer and closer together. You might be at the point where you already feel your palms touching, feel your hands come completely together, feel your palms completely touching each other, completely coming together. And the moment that you feel them touch each other, just go ahead and drop your arms down and let that allow you to go deeper. When your palms together, just drop them down, just let them go and go deeper, deeper into relaxation. So whether or not you are fully able to imagine the magnets pulling your arms together, I want you to take a moment and just tell yourself, I am highly suggestible. I am extremely intelligent. I am open to suggestion. And so now that we are in full relaxation and ready for suggestions, it is time to go back. It is time to turn inward towards our subconscious, to that part of you that remembers everything, the part of you that knows exactly where all your beliefs came from, the part of you that knows exactly what your subconscious is telling you, that knows all the truths about why your subconscious is telling you what it's telling you. And I want to ask you to go back to that part, to talk to that part, to turn inward and connect with that part. Because we're going to ask that part of you, that subconscious part of you, to take you back in time, right? Ask that part to move you back in time, down a timeline, back to a scene that has everything to do with being afraid to surrender, being afraid to let go of control. Everything to do with whatever tells you to never let go of control, that letting go of control means giving up your power. Wherever you got that you are not safe or life is not joyful, I'm going to go back to that time, that time that says, don't give up control. And as I count from 5, see yourself becoming smaller, younger, lighter. See the years, the months on the count of 4, the days just simply peeling away in your mind, peeling away from your body. On the count of 3, going to a scene from your childhood. It's beginning to materialize in your imagination. You're beginning to see it. On the count of 2, it's becoming more and more clear. And it's a vivid, vital, and crucial scene that has everything to do with where you got your beliefs about surrender and being in control and never wanting to be out of control. On the count of 1, coming so clear, the picture is there. And as I snap my fingers, you just be there observing. The scene has warmed up like a picture on a TV screen. Remember, you are just observing, not reliving, just reviewing that vivid memory. And everything that you need to know from that memory is right there at your fingertips. to observe for information. And as I ask you questions about it, you're going to know the answer. Your subconscious knows the answer to every single question. And as you answer yourself, your subconscious is supporting you with getting clear about each of the answers in the scene. So I want you to ask yourself, ask your subconscious, is it daytime you're seeing or is it nighttime? Are you inside or are you outside? Are you on your own? Are you with someone? And think about it. If you are with someone, who you might be with. And if you are on your own, why you're on your own. How old are you? Imagine yourself at the age that you are in this scene. What are you doing? What are you seeing? What are you feeling and experiencing? What do you hear? What do you hear being said? What do you hear being said about control? What do you hear being said about your joy, surrender? Just take a moment to take a note of it. Your ears are wide open and you can hear something being said and you can feel what you felt at that moment. You might hear something like, if you're playing, stop all that noise. Playtime is over. Maybe you got punished for something that you enjoyed or was enjoying. Maybe you got a message that joy is not safe. Maybe you got hurt or were made uncomfortable. Just review it, not relive it. And take a moment to just get really clear about what happened and what was said. What did you experience in that scene that has given you a limited belief about your own joy and pleasure? And once you're clear, I want you to take a deep breath as we put that scene aside for a moment, knowing that we will return to use it later. And on the countdown of 5, we're leaving that last scene. We're just going to put that aside. And we're going to move backwards or forwards in time to a scene about how you got a block around your pleasure, how you got a stoppage, something that says that joy is unsafe. We're going back to a scene where you first remember telling yourself that you must watch yourself. Don't take things too far. Your subconscious mind knows exactly where to go, and the picture is becoming clearer as I count down from 5 and 4. Just be there. Don't take it too far. Don't enjoy yourself too much. On the count of 3, a new scene coming clear into your mind, into your imagination. On the count of 2, everything to do with what you believe about being able to surrender to your joyfulness, where you got a block. It's got to stop. It can't go too far. On the count of 2, on the count of 1, coming clear. And as I snap my fingers, you are there, reviewing it, watching it on a TV screen. It is so clear. You can see every detail that you need to see. Your subconscious is showing you everything about it. Is it daytime or nighttime? Are you inside or outside? Are you on your own or is someone with you? How old are you in this scene? What is it that you're doing, feeling, experiencing, seeing? And what are you hearing? What are you hearing about your joy, your pleasure, being able to allow yourself to let go? Your ears are wide open. You can hear something being said about surrender, something being said about enjoying yourself, something being said about pleasure, something someone maybe in your family or a teacher or babysitter might have said, something that was told to you about your behavior or the behavior of others. Don't act like those kids, but pull yourself together. Don't enjoy yourself. Don't be age appropriate. Perhaps there was someone in your life who was constantly in misery, and that's what they modeled for you. What do you see in that scene? Allow yourself to investigate. Allow your mind to investigate and be so clear about that scene. You see it, feel it, hear it. not reliving it. And once you've gotten clear, I want you to allow yourself to put that scene aside for a moment, knowing that we're going to come back and use it later. So take a deep breath and let it out. I want to count down to 5. We're leaving that last scene and we're moving either backwards or forwards into another scene about how you might have began to feel shame when it comes to sexual pleasure and enjoyment. Moments of feeling shame or understanding shame, feeling like you should be ashamed. On the count of 5, moving through time, backwards or forwards to a time when you feel yourself understanding shame around sexual pleasure, shame around enjoyment. On the count of 4, your mind, your subconscious mind knows exactly where to go to give you all the information you need. The picture is becoming so clear. On the count of 3, just be there, watching it, reviewing it, not reliving it. On the count of 2, a new scene has come clear on your screen that you can see all the information you need to get from it. On the count of 1, just be there, watching it, reviewing it, being able to see everything your subconscious mind knows, whether it's daytime or nighttime. Are you inside or outside? Are you on your own or is someone else with you? How old are you? What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're seeing? What is it that you're experiencing? What are you feeling? Take a moment to get real clear on what you were feeling in that scene. And what are you hearing? If anything, what are you hearing being said? What might you be saying to yourself? What do you hear from others? What are you hearing being said about your sexuality? Is someone maybe telling you that you're a bad girl or a bad boy? Is someone telling you that enjoying yourself is sinful or wrong? Someone telling you maybe that sex is for men to enjoy. They might not be saying the words, but modeling that example for you. You see it somehow. If you're a man, that you need to do it and you need to know how to do it well, that there's maybe pressure on you. Are you getting outside pressure about sex? If you were left alone or mistreated or somehow felt forgotten, take notice of any of those feelings and what you might have said to yourself. Maybe someone in your life had a lot of shame and passed those feelings on to you with harsh words because they were coming from a place of shame. And remember, you're not reliving it, just reviewing it. And I want you to stay in that scene for just a moment. Allow it to be a moment of discovery, an illuminating moment where you realize what beliefs that you may have taken on as a child to cope with your world. To cope with your world as a child, coming into your senses and sensitivities, coming of age, maybe into your sexuality, depending on how old you were. Just take a moment to realize what beliefs, what things you decided in that scene. What limits might you have set on yourself in order to avoid being hurt any further? What decisions might you have made about your body that still dictate your life today? What burdens and controls might you have put in place that you still grapple with today? I want you to take a deep breath and go ahead and let that scene go for right now. We're putting that aside with the other scenes on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just let all of those scenes be together in their own little stack. I want you to imagine that those scenes are all on a Polaroid or a little disk drive or something where you can actually hold them in your hand. I want you to turn your palm facing up and imagine that in your left hand, all 3 of those scenes around joy, surrender, and shame are in your left hand. And then I want you to imagine with your right palm facing up that in your right hand is everything that you're experiencing today, everything that you're dealing with today, and what life looks like today when it comes to pleasure and joy. And I want you to give a few moments to think about how the snapshots in your left hand are informing your mindset today in your right hand. So any challenges that you may be up against, any disempowering beliefs that you may still be holding on to, any subconscious beliefs that you may still be holding on to. Just take a moment to consider how the past has dictated those beliefs. Take a moment to consider what the connection may be between those beliefs and now. Make the connection between what your family taught you, your past experiences, what they taught you, and what you're experiencing today. Just give yourself a moment to breathe into that. So now what we want to do is interrupt the old paradigms so that we can begin to practice new thought patterns and develop new behaviors and beliefs around joy and pleasure that align with what it is that we truly desire. So we're going back through those old scenes. I want you to repeat after me out loud. I want you to hear your own voice when you say the following. Whatever age you were in that first scene, where you pinpointed some of your blocks to joy and pleasure, where they may have come from, I want you to repeat after me out loud around joy and pleasure. Make sure that you can hear yourself loudly. That scene is not me because I am no longer however old you were. That scene is also not me because, and I want you to finish the rest out loud. It is also not me because, and it can never be me again because, and for the rest of my wildly orgasmic life, it will never be me because. And you might come up with some things like, because I'm an adult now, because I am safe, because I know myself, because I trust myself, because I know I can handle the world. I know that I am safe. I am safe in this world because that's what has been proven to me over and over again, is that I make it, I survive. Nothing that anyone has tried to do to me has taken me out. I am here. When it comes to surrender in your second scene, whatever age you were, that is no longer me because I am not however many years old. And that is not me because, and you finish the rest. It is also not me because, and that is not me for the rest of my long, joyful, pleasureful life because. And remember to just say it out loud. Whatever you feel is the reason why it never has to be you again. Whatever you observe about your life today that lets you know that that's no longer your reality, that it no longer exists for you, that it's in the past. And so now for shame and the release of shame. And for this one, I want you to just really give yourself an opportunity to understand that every experience is a product of our beliefs around it. So if I believe that I deserve to be shameful or that I have to be shameful, then shame is what I'm going to experience, right? So when I declare something new for myself and am willing to release the old paradigm, I can say that that is not me because I am not however many years old. It is also not me because, and with this, I want you to give yourself affirmation because I'm an amazing person, because I'm smart, because I'm loving, because I have a contribution, because I'm creative, because I'm whatever positive things that you want to give to yourself. I'm worthy, I'm valuable, whatever you want to insert there. And that can never be me ever again, that feeling of shame, because I have nothing to be ashamed of. I'm a human being like all other human beings. And I am in full 100% unconditional self-acceptance. And that will never be me again for the rest of my long, pleasurable, and orgasmic life, because. And give yourself words of love and affirmation. You are letting go, erasing, eradicating, releasing, and eliminating any old beliefs, any old stories, old paradigms that limit your ability to vibrate as high as you truly desire, to vibrate on the level of joy and pleasure that you want, the level of all you want to manifest, the level of unconditional love that is your birthright. And as you go deeper, you know that understanding is power, and understanding in hypnosis is the most liberating feeling, because it's the most extraordinary power, because you get to implant new subconscious beliefs. And so we are going to implant some new subconscious beliefs. So I want you to take a moment, imagine yourself flowing downstream effortlessly with life, attracting all that belongs to you with ease. See yourself in full surrender, knowing that you are wired for pleasure, for joy, for high vibration. Take a deep breath. Now that we have investigated the old stories and interrupted the old paradigms, we can install new healing thoughts. You are drifting to a healing level. And as you drift to a healing level, your subconscious mind is ready for healing. Your subconscious mind is very susceptible. And when you're in this awareness, you're imprinting, installing, encoding into yourself brand new beliefs. You are coding and calling for your body to become and to stay wildly orgasmic. And as you are erasing and eradicating old limiting beliefs and rewiring yourself, you can become wildly orgasmic, and you can have multiple orgasms. And so you just listen to this hypnosis and expect to create amazing results, and you definitely will. You're beginning a beautiful guided hypnosis designed to make you wildly orgasmic, and this is wonderful. It is safe. It's a calm and powerful state of mind. And there is nothing for you to do at all except to relax and enjoy the ability to imprint on your mind and then onto your body. A powerful orgasmic response that gives you so many health benefits, along with the ability to vibrate on a high level, is exactly what you want right now. And I want you to just breathe in and breathe out. And just allow yourself to be more and more comfortable. Just allow yourself to continue relaxing into your breath. And there is nothing required of you but to listen to the sound of my voice and to let it in, to breathe in and breathe out. Don't worry about having to fill your own mind. Your mind is not designed to be still. It will do what it wants to do. Your mind is designed to respond to the pictures that you make in your head and on the words that you say to yourself and what I'm saying. And you're responding to the words I'm saying and the pictures that are falling from these words. And you just keep your mind on it. And that's all you need to do. And if your mind wanders, it's perfectly fine, because my voice is going with you, staying with you. And every time you play this recording, you respond more and more perfectly. So as you just allow yourself to be, because you are a human being, you're remembering that the mind is the sexiest organ of all. It is your mind that allows you to orgasm. You have a body that is wired to respond to touch. You have nerve endings that are designed to respond to touch. And when you combine your body becoming super responsive to touch with your mind becoming wildly orgasmic, then the most wonderful things happen every time you are having sex, making love with a partner, or every time you're on your own, learning what makes your body respond, teaching your body how to become wildly orgasmic. You understand that you are responsible for your orgasms. You are response-able. That means that you are able to respond to touch, to eroticism, to being with another person. Your body is now super responsive to touch, the slightest touch to your body. And when you engage in lovemaking, having sex, or giving yourself pleasure, you decide immediately that your body is super responsive to touch, that your mind says, yes, I have a super responsive body. I am wildly orgasmic. And your mind already believes that to be the truth about you. And every time you listen to this hypnosis, you remember that your body is controlled by a network of intelligence, which is influenced by your mind. And now, as you hear my words, you are dropping right into that network of intelligence, sinking into that network of intelligence where you influence your mind, and your mind is influencing your body. And you are so orgasmic. You know how to have great orgasms. And great orgasms do not require that your body is perfect or that your situation is perfect. They require one thing, the belief that you are beautifully, wonderfully orgasmic. And you love being orgasmic. And you love it because you're aware of the phenomenal health benefits that you get. Every time you orgasm, and you orgasm frequently, you orgasm powerfully. You are able to have multiple orgasms, vaginal orgasms, clitoral orgasms. You are able to have deep, rhythmic, powerful orgasms. Every time you experience these deep, powerful, rhythmic orgasms, you feel wonderful. And you feel so good because all the orgasms are something so special. They make you feel alive. They make you feel delight. They make you feel empowered. You are able to have powerful, powerful orgasms, full body orgasms that are massive and extended. You are super responsive to touch and very open and receptive to joy and pleasure. So many things arouse you, what you see, what you hear, what you feel. You are able to climax so easily. And as you begin a crescendo of getting ready to orgasm, you know how to tighten your muscles, how to let the tension build up and up and up. And every day you are learning, discovering, finding out how to be wildly orgasmic. And even the journey is exciting for you. You are learning how to build up tension because that is what orgasms require, a buildup of tension and the most beautiful, powerful, life-enhancing release. And you learn how to tighten your vaginal muscles, create tension, how to build that tension. And then at the right time, you let go beautifully, powerfully, rhythmically. You trust your body completely and you remember your lungs, your breath, your heartbeat, your blood circulates with no effort from you whatsoever. And so it is with orgasms as well. You tell yourself that you are wildly orgasmic, and you tell yourself that you are super responsive to touch. You tell yourself that when your partner touches you or when you touch you, you feel little electric sparks taking off in your body and you feel this tingling. You're able to have a full body orgasm and you tell yourself so. You are developing super tight muscles. You are developing every day a wildly orgasmic response to touch, to feelings, to sights, to scents. When you are enjoying making love or touching yourself, you're able to activate, feeling very erotic when you smell the scent of your partner's hair, the scent of your own hair. It's all super erotic to you. What you hear, the words you say, the sound that your heart makes, the beating of your own heart is super erotic to you. The sound of your breathing, whether real or imaginary, moves you deep into rhythmic orgasms. It is all arousing to you and you feel wonderful. You're able to squeeze the right muscles from the bottom to the top, and then from the top down to the bottom. You use your pelvic floor. You're able to squeeze and start right at the bottom, to go from the bottom to the middle to the top, and then from the top to the middle to the bottom. And you have that wonderful milking ability to engage the muscles that give you so much pleasure. And you know, of course, that your clitoris, your vagina, your penis are designed to receive pleasure. The universe wants you to have pleasure. The universe gave you so many nerve endings in your clitoris that extend right into your body It's an organ designed for pleasure, and the universe wants you to have that pleasure, because when you are experiencing that pleasure, you are vibrating at the level of all the things you desire. You are celebrating life and expressing joy. You are offering a grateful release from your body that tells the universe more, more, more. Every time you orgasm, nature is regulating your hormones, improving your circulation to all of your organs around your pelvis, increasing lymphatic drainage, helping your body to detoxify, improving your digestion, improving your mood, preventing disease, and even fighting heart disease and osteoporosis. It's promoting healthy estrogen levels. It's maximizing your DHEA levels in your body. And as you have these maximum DHEA levels, it's balancing your immune system, repairing your tissues, improving your brain function, bringing you all good things, improving your skin, making you younger, healthy, with more vitality. It's flushing out inflammation in your body and boosting by more than 20% the infection fighting cells in your body, elevating your pain threshold and increasing your oxytocin. So you feel passionate, but also you feel intuitive. You're getting more bonding skills. You're becoming younger, healthier, happier, fighting illness, fighting depression, making hormones that bond you with your partner, and most importantly, indeed, with yourself. Because as your body becomes more and more orgasmic, you just love your body more and more. And every time you orgasm, you tune into a deep love you have for this body, for the miracles it performs for you every day. And you know that being wildly orgasmic has nothing to do with your body weight or your shape or your size. It has nothing to do with your ears or the features on your face. And every day you remember your ability to orgasm, to be wildly orgasmic, to have multiple orgasms, massive extended orgasms, and full body orgasms. And as you think these thoughts and hear these words, your brilliant mind is already taking in every word I'm saying and starting to make it real. And just thinking these thoughts is causing your mind to picture everything I'm saying, and then it is manifesting. It is creating it for you. You are becoming orgasmic, and you love being orgasmic. And you give yourself permission to enjoy this wonderful ability that the universe created for you to have all of these health benefits, and that you were given a body designed to experience joy and pleasure. And you are so excited every time after you've had an orgasm that you can have another one. And after orgasming, you feel deeply connected to yourself, to your partner. You're in awe of all the wonderful things that your body does. The more you orgasm, the more you love and respect and admire your body. The more you love and respect and admire your body, the more orgasmic you are. And you know that orgasms make you live longer, look younger, sleep better, and feel happier. And every day you say yes, yes, yes to these powerful orgasmic responses. Your mind and your body are working in harmony to make it all real. And you remember that first the mind says yes, and then the body says yes. And then your mind says yes to all the benefits nature is giving you. And every time you orgasm, the easier it is. The more you do it, it's a skill that you are easily, rapidly developing with practice. You practice alone, you practice with your partner, and you enjoy learning all the beautiful things that your body can do. Loving your body, loving its responses, loving the health benefits that you're giving yourself just by having orgasms, loving the joy and the pleasure. You allow yourself to live a little fantasy, a little eroticism, a little thrill, a little trauma, a little suspense, because that combination of thrill, suspense, edging as the unknown, a little naughtiness, a little eroticism makes you even more orgasmic, and that is a good thing. And if nature has made you orgasmic and made eroticism and fantasy to make you even more orgasmic, then that's what your mind and your body wants. So just let yourself go deeper. Let yourself to continue to go deeper. And as you go deeper, I want you to take 2 fingers and press the area just between your eyebrows. and impress upon yourself right now that you are wildly orgasmic, beautifully orgasmic. You have deep, rhythmic, powerful orgasms that boost your entire immune system. I want you to impress upon yourself, as you press that area between your eyes, you are impressing, instructing, installing the ability to be orgasmic. You are impressing upon your body, you're instructing your body to respond to touch, to all your senses. By allowing your sensitivity, you are installing within yourself an ability to become orgasmic, to feel the tingling feelings from your head to your toes. Your whole body feels powerful around each nerve ending. It feels as though they're on fire, and you feel little electric shocks firing off. And as you go into that rhythmic, powerful crest of an orgasm, you feel the build up of tension. It builds up more, and it's so exciting, so life affirming. And then you feel that release, the waves crashing, and that wonderful sensation of oxytocin flooding into your body. You are installing, impressing this into your mind and your body. You are coding into yourself, calling in, calling right now, calling in the ability to be wildly orgasmic. The more you do it, the more your body is responding. And as your body responds, you have deep, powerful, rhythmic orgasms, and your muscles have memory. And every time you climax so beautifully, so powerfully, so wonderfully, your muscles remember, I like this. And I'm going to imprint this muscular response. So it happens over and over and over again. And I want you to feel that now. Every time you do that tightening of your muscles, starting at the bottom, coming from the middle to the top, then starting at the top and clenching down to the bottom, that milking, grasping action. Every time you do that, your muscles remember. And every time you go into that crescendo of waves where you build up tension and climax into a beautiful orgasm, your muscles go, this feels good. And now you are imprinting and coding this muscle memory, because muscles have memories. And now your muscles can vividly, wildly orgasm. And you respond to all the different senses by becoming more and more orgasmic. Your mind is a sexual organ, and your sexual responses begin in your mind, and your mind is making your orgasm deeper and deeper. And your mind says yes, your body says yes. Deep, rhythmic, full body orgasms. You allow yourself to discover this beautiful, powerful body that you have, and you are deeply in awe of its magic, its ability to be wildly orgasmic. And even more so, every time you build up tension and let go, and you know your mind knows what to do because you use fantasy and eroticism, and your body knows what to do because your body responds freely to touch, to smell, and to taste. You are wildly orgasmic with a full menu of orgasms. And you will listen to this meditation so much as you condition and rewire the coding in your body to be wildly orgasmic. Every time you play this, you are commanding, instructing, and directing and compelling your body to reactivate a wildly orgasmic response. And remember, the difference between excellent and average is what you think, what you do, what you believe. And remember that you don't have to chase, only attract. What belongs to you does come to you, and allow your body to surrender. Every time you play this, you cannot help but think about being orgasmic, believing that you have the power to activate a powerful orgasmic response, and you are doing it for all of its benefits. It's on the count of 1. I want you to just feel that wonderful feeling, feeling proud of yourself for doing this, and most of all, just feeling amazing and relaxed. On the count of 2, able to wake yourself back up if you haven't already come to full awareness, feeling your body re-engage, feeling your nervous system re-engage. On the count of 3, feeling exhilarated at what you've just experienced. On the count of 4, if you listen to this recording at bedtime, you will just drift off into the most healing sleep. If you listen to it in the morning, you will wake up having the most energized, wonderful day. On the count of 1, feeling like knowing that you are wildly orgasmic. And waking up, coming back to your full awareness and being with me on that wonderful truth right now. All right, everybody. So come on back. Allow yourself to gently open your eyes. Wake your nervous system back up. Allow yourself to be back with us in the Zoom room. Feeling good. Who wants to share about their experience? Who has something they want to share right away from that experience? Just come right on.
Oh my goodness, Coach Candice, this is Louise. That was absolutely powerful. My whole body is just tingling and relaxed. I feel like the edging you're talking about. And just going back to those specific periods in my life when I realized, the I guess the shame at the different points. Um, and then being able to put them in a snapshot and flip them away and then repeat what you said about the shame and loving myself and what I deserve. I mean, that's exactly where I'm at right now, and thank you. I feel absolutely, I don't get high, but I feel like I'm high. Oh, thank you. My whole body's tingling in a wonderful way. So I appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm complete.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Epic Louise. And I love what you said about getting high because it's the best way to just naturally get high, right? We don't need drugs or anything like that because we have it in our bodies to do so and in our minds.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashe, Epic Louise. Does anybody else want to share what they experienced, how they're feeling? I saw some people burning up in the chat. I see some
Blissful, Coach Candice. Blissful. I'm feeling very blissful.
Yeah.
And joyful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being willing and surrendering to bliss and joy. Right? Yeah. Ashe, absolutely. Anybody else? I know we're running long, so I don't want to.
Yeah, this is Ellen.
Ellen, hi, sweet sister.
Hi. I actually fell I fell asleep.
Okay.
And I guess it's maybe disconnected and reconnected. So I heard this is being recorded. That was the only time I woke up. And I just had a vision of myself as like almost like a Venus type vision, like adorned with shells and in the ocean, and very like sensual and relaxed and primal and kind of buzzy, like a full body low, not orgasmic, but like a vibration.
Yeah.
Not a low vibration, a high vibration. Like I feel weirdly alive. Thank you.
I love it. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for that, for sharing that, Sister Ellen. Because I love what you said about falling asleep. It does often happen during the hypnosis process. And if you listen to the recording, it can happen. And it's perfectly fine because you're still suggestible when you're asleep. Like you said, Sister, you imagine yourself as a Venus when you came back out. Like it still works. So the getting so relaxed that you fall asleep is perfectly fine. That's a beautiful thing. All right, I want us to just share all morning long, but I know that I've already kept you way over. And so I don't want to, just use up the listening. And I want to make sure that we have a winner for the special offer, because the special offer is the downloadable audio of the healing that we just did. Not the part where we went through regression, because we've done that part. We're done with that. We get to put that away. We get to, put those Polaroids aside, and we get to concentrate on what it is that we are creating. And so that's what the recording is about. And one person is going to win that recording. And here's how you're going to win it. Always have a trick. So, in the very beginning, there was a list that I gave you of 5 things that I do somatically, separate of my spiritual practice, that are part of what supports me in vibrating high. And I put 5 things on the list. The first person who can come on and tell me 3 of those things that I do on the list. I see Ellen's hand. Is that your digital hand raised? Admin, if you can help me, whoever raised their hand first. I only see Ellen's hand raised, so I think she might have been first, or that might be from when you shared before. I don't know. Who can come on?
We have Marie with her hand raised.
Who do we have? John Carl, can you say that again?
Anne-Marie or Anne-Marie?
Anne-Marie?
Ellen.
Was it Ellen? Who
Yes,
was?
that's Ellen they're talking about. Her name on the Zoom is
Oh,
Ellen.
Ellen. Oh.
Okay.
So Ellen, I think you had your hand up first, but I don't know if you had it up from when you shared before. Did you just put it up for this?
I just put it up.
Okay, so 3 of the things.
You walk 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
You do 15 to 20 minutes of yoga. 15 to 30 minutes of yoga.
Don't try to guess it now, because that means we got to have somebody who gets.
Okay, I'll pass it on.
Thank you, though, Sister Ellen. That was a good try. Sister Wendy, I see, has her hand raised, but also Sister Denise had hers up too. Admin, do you know who had theirs up first?
I thought it was Denise.
You thought it was Denise?
Mhm,
So
Denise.
we let Sister Denise try, and if she don't get it, Sister Wendy, I think you're next, and then Sister Candice if Sister Wendy doesn't get it.
So Denise had your 10,000 steps or more, your 50 to 60% of daily calories from plants.
No.
And you drink a gallon of water a day. And I've seen you do that gallon of water.
Yes, but the calories a day you didn't get right. So we got to pass it on.
Thanks for trying.
I said 50 to 60% of your daily calories come from plants.
Yeah, that's not the right answer.
Just gonna repeat it.
Right. So we got to pass it on. We got to get.
That's what the slide says.
That's what the slide says.
Are you sure?
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at.
Because I have it as 60 to 70. If that's what the slide says, then you did get it.
Yes,
But it's
we're gonna have
actually
to pull up
should
the
say
slides,
60 to
John.
70. Pull up the slide, John.
Let me advocate for my
That's what the slide says.
I'm sorry, Sister Denise. If you got it right, then you definitely deserve it. We just got to go to the slide because I have it as
Got
it. Are you pulling it up, John Carl? We make sure it's fair.
I am, and here it is.
You're right. You got it, Sister Denise. You absolutely got it.
Thank you.
You know what it was? I'll tell you what I did. When I'm writing my notes about it, I did the slides accurately. And then when I'm writing my notes, I'm like, well, it might sound better if I say 60 to 70. The truth is it's 50 to 60. And I wrote the truth in the first place. But my notes say 60 to 70. Right? So you got it, Sister Denise. Oh, good. Absolutely. Yay. So that means I will send you later on, after I do the editing, I will send you the downloadable audio recording, which also has music underneath, and you can listen to it for the next 21 days.
Yay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Actually, you can listen to it for however long you want, because then you'll own it. And then the other offer is, John Carl, if we can bring up that slide. Everybody else gets 50% off. If you go, I will have a link for you later on once I have done the editing. And I think what we did last week is we had everybody put their email in the chat. If you already have my contact information, you can feel free to email me, but I will have a link in order to go and get the recording later on today, later on this evening. If you are interested in getting it and want that link to access it, you'll get 50% off just for being, in this session and being a WOO member. And that is it for the special offer. Anybody have any questions about it? We good? Congratulations, Sister Denise. And if you want to get in touch with me, whether it's about the recording or doing one-on-one hypnosis sessions, which I do most often, I have a 3-session package. I know that there's a few of you that have participated in it before. And, I transform a lot of different things. So it's not just about money and orgasms. I help people with things like fertility, depression and anxiety. I currently have a PTSD client who's a Marine. So, you know, if there's something that you're really stuck around and you're feeling like emotionally, mentally, there's a lot of subconscious blocks, and, you know, you've tried a lot of different things. Usually what people do is they try everything. They try the clinical therapy, they try all kinds of different methods, and then they come to hypnosis because it's, you know, something that really gets into those subconscious thoughts and beliefs. And so get in touch with me. 917-428-0841 is my direct phone number. And you see the rest of it. John Carl has now moved the slide because we need to move on. Love offerings and donations. You know, here in the woo space that we are a cycle of abundance, and we just keep the abundance going. I'm a big believer that the more I give, the more I get. If you feel like you got value today, if you feel like this made a transformation for you, made a difference for you, whatever you want to give to me, to the woo space, is welcomed. I believe in paying forward. I believe in the cycle of abundance, and, you know, whatever feels right for you energetically. And so the code is hashtag 406CH for me, and Cash App $ Spirit of a Woman with Zelle and Quick Pay. So do what you energetically feel as far as that's concerned. All right, coming up, Dr. Danette, Dr. Sister Queen Danette is on tomorrow. It's tomorrow, September 6th, the Rona, What We Gonna Do, Part 1. I love that. I definitely am showing up for that because that's one of those things that causes a lot of anxiety, right? Dr. Danette Bean and Dr. Bishara Wilson. That's going to be fantastic. And then join us on Tuesday with Ritual Release and Repair, facilitated by Savannah Brown, Kamal Patah, Nicholas Quasi Hurd, and Shawnee, Coach Shawnee. So we definitely want to be there for that as well, coming up all this week. And what do we got next, John Carl? So welcome any new members, anybody who's never been here before. This might be an interesting session for you to start with. If you are brand new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please make sure you join the Facebook group and so that you can enjoy all the goodness of this community, all that it offers. Thank you for being with us, and also feel free to invite new people to come as well. And thank you so much. I am complete. I'm gonna let John Carl take it over so I can get some water.
Thank you so much, Candice.
Yes.
And here is our Woo Wake Up schedule. Our Wake Up Everybody schedule. We Zoom live here on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. We may go over a little at some times. And on Mondays and Wednesdays, we're here for a 30-minute session, 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. We are always streaming live on Facebook, and you can get your alerts to these sessions by texting Woo Nation to 74121. Again, text Woo Nation to 74121. And we look forward to seeing you here on Wake Up. We also look forward to seeing you in the streets, and we can identify you if you are wearing the Woo swag, Woo Nation swag. You can get your mugs, t-shirts, water bottles, sweatshirts, masks. You can find that in our Woo store at bit.ly/Woo swag. Hope to see you in the streets, family. Stay in touch. bit.ly Wake Up Movement. That is to register with us, to find us on Facebook, bit.ly/Woo Community, and that is for our Facebook community page, our private group. And for Instagram, at Wake Up Everybody Virtual, that's where you would find us. And on YouTube, bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And again, you can email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. Thank you so much for staying with us, family. Now we will go into our gallery mode and get to Bless Coach Candice with love.
Thank you, Coach Candice. This was beautiful. I love your
Thank you,
energy.
Coach
Thank you,
Candice.
thank you,
Absolutely
Wow,
amazing.
so
epic,
good.
epic
Rocked
night,
my
Coach
morning
Candice.
this
Fire.
Love
morning.
it.
Thank
Thank
Sending
you.
you
you.
love from Jamaica, sending
so
you
much for
just
that.
gratitude
Really,
from this
really,
side of
really
the
felt something deep.
Caribbean Sea.
Thank
Love,
you.
such love and blessing.
Thank you so much, Candice.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
wonderful
you,
day,
Coach
everyone.
Candice.
I'm going to keep this high all day.
That's right,
Yes.
Miss Louise. Thank